The Pixel 10 lineup is almost here, and leaks have already revealed nearly everything. From camera changes to display upgrades, Google's 2025 flagships are shaping up to be both exciting and a bit controversial. In this video, we'll break down everything you need to know about the Pixel 10 lineup. Let's get into it. We'll start with the base model, the Pixel 10. The design stays familiar, with a 6.3-inch flat OLED display. But brightness gets a big upgrade. Peak brightness jumps from 2,700 to 3,000 nits. That makes it one of the brightest phones on the market. Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protects the front and back. Under the hood, it runs the new Tensor G5 chip, built on a 3nm TSMC process. You'll get 12 GB of RAM and storage options of 128 or 256 gigs. Sadly, still no micro SD support, and no higher storage tier. Battery capacity increases slightly to 4,970 mAh. Charging is faster too, 29 watts wired and 15 watts wireless with Qi 2 support. Older wireless chargers will max out at 7.5 watts. But here's where things get interesting: the cameras. To add a 5x telephoto lens, Google downgraded the main and ultra-wide sensors. The main camera is now a 48-megapixel sensor, likely the same as the Pixel 9a. The ultra-wide? Just 12 megapixels. The telephoto is 10.8 megapixels, borrowed from the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. No vapor chamber cooling. No Wi-Fi 7 support, even though last year's Pixel 9 had it. A strange decision for 2025. Next up, Pixel 10 Pro. The display is still 6.3 inches, but with LTPO tech, 1 to 120 Hz refresh rate, and that same 3000 nit peak brightness. Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on both sides again. Inside, the same Tensor G5, but this time with 16 GB of RAM. Storage options go from 128 gigs all the way to 1 TB. However, the 1 TB option may be limited to specific colors, just like last year. The battery is slightly smaller than the base model, 4,870 mAh, but there's a good reason. Pixel 10 Pro includes a larger vapor chamber for better cooling. Charging stays at 29 watts wired, 15 watts wireless. As for the cameras, not much has changed. You still get a 50-megapixel main sensor, 48-megapixel ultra-wide, and 48-megapixel telephoto with 5x zoom. The selfie camera remains 42 megapixels, but this year, both the ultra-wide and telephoto support macro photography. The ultra-wide focuses as close as 2 centimeters. The telephoto reaches about 10 centimeters and lets in more light for better macro shots. Finally, let's talk about the biggest phone in the lineup, the Pixel 10 Pro XL. It features a large 6.8-inch LTPO OLED display, with the same 120 Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 3,000 nits. Under the hood, it runs on the Tensor G5 with 16 GB of RAM, but there's no 128 GB option this time. Storage starts at 256 gigs and goes all the way up to 1 TB. Battery life should be solid. The XL model packs a massive 5,200 mAh battery, the biggest ever in a Pixel phone. Wired charging speeds jump to 39 watts, while wireless charging stays at 15 watts thanks to Qi 2. As for the cameras, it's the same triple lens setup as the Pixel 10 Pro, so the main differences come down to size, battery, and charging speeds. All three phones ship with Android 16 and Google's new Material U3 expressive design right out of the box. Google is promising 7 years of software and security updates, a big win for long-term support. As expected, AI is a major focus again. You'll get features like circle to search, offline translation, smarter voice controls, and improved photo editing tools. Other shared features include in-display fingerprint sensors, stereo speakers, face unlock, and USB-C. And just like previous Pixels, there's no headphone jack and no expandable storage. So, what's the verdict? The Pixel 10 brings a brighter display and solid performance, but the camera downgrade might turn off users who care most about photography. The Pixel 10 Pro keeps most things the same, but adds a vapor chamber and macro support. It's a safer choice for power users. The Pro XL is clearly built for those who want it all: a massive screen, huge battery, and top-tier specs. And we can't forget about the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, the only foldable in the lineup, which, according to leaks, remains mostly unchanged from last year, aside from getting the new Tensor G5 chip. That chip, the Tensor G5, marks a big shift for Google. For the first time, it's manufactured by TSMC instead of Samsung. and early benchmarks are showing promising gains. In Geekbench tests, the Tensor G5 scored around 2,276 in single-core and 6,173 in multi-core, offering up to 36% better performance compared to last year's Tensor G4. That puts it in the same performance tier as the Snapdragon 8's Gen 4, a chip that powers many mid to high-end Android flagships in 2025. The G5 uses a modern 3-cluster CPU architecture, with one high-performance core clocked at 3.78 GHz, and a mix of other cores ranging between 2.25 and 3.05 GHz. But keep in mind, these scores reflect only CPU performance. GPU capabilities of the Tensor G5 are still unknown, and that could make a big difference for gaming, AI workloads, and overall responsiveness. Still, this is shaping up to be Google's fastest and most efficient processor yet. That should translate to smoother performance, better battery life, and smarter on-device AI across the entire Pixel 10 lineup. Pricing hasn't been confirmed, but we expect the Pixel 10 to start around $799, with the Pro and Pro XL priced higher, especially with expanded storage and battery upgrades. Google will officially reveal the lineup on August 20th, with sales starting August 28th. Until then, this is everything we know so far about the Pixel 10 lineup. Let me know in the comments. Which model are you most excited for?